We are live. What's going on, guys? So let me turn the music down a little bit. Rue, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, Rob? Chilling, man.
Just chilling, brother. Just chilling as well. Taking in the crash today. What do you think about today's red candle, man?
That it might be it. Now, one of the things I noticed from the last halving, right, is that Bitcoin with the whole Sam Bankman-Fried thing, it went down to the previous all-time high, which was like 16K or something like that. So the previous high before the last halving was around 69, 67K. So maybe we're done. We'll see.
Oh, interesting. Interesting take. I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin chart here so we can look at what you're talking about so people can kind of reference that. Now, for me, I lean in a little bit of a different direction. I think because we lost. Now, granted, we haven't closed the daily candle there yet, so, it doesn't really matter until we close the candle, right?
Right.
We could wick till the cows come home, but it doesn't mean nothing if it gets pushed right back up above the previous high. So, for you guys watching, what Rue's talking about here is this yellow line, right? Now, that yellow line, if you trace it back, is the previous cycle high, as you can see right here from 2021, right? Now, we did meet it it was quite a level of resistance from March of 2024 until November of 2024. That was a strong level of resistance for, more than half the year, right? Give or take. So I see what you're saying, and I did speculate before that we could see 69K, the previous cycle high, hold as support and as a bottom for this cycle. And the reason for that is this second line down here, right? Where, as you can see, this was the bear market phase right here of after the 2021 cycle, right? Which is the previous 2017 cycle high, right? And it held as support. Now, here's the problem for me. Here's where it becomes a little bit dicey, so to speak, right? And it's that the yellow moving average here caught it after the 2017 bull run, right? That's the 200-week moving average. And as it creeps up, same thing here. It went just a little bit below the 200-week moving average, but essentially held the same range as the previous cycle high and the 200-week moving average, right? They both held. Same with back here. They both held, right? Now the problem is we have about a ten to $12,000 difference between the 200-week moving average and the top of the previous cycle high.
Yeah.
So which one of those is going to be the support level that we're anticipating? And then there's also an argument to be made, that Bitcoin will fall about 70% from the high, right? What do you think? What do you think about from the high?
Well, looking at this chart, it's quite possible that it gets down to 200 EMA, which is what is that, 57 around?
58,000, yeah.
Okay, so I could definitely see that as well. Um, we have a couple of like astrological things coming up, like the official new year. I think is supposed to be February 18th or something like that. If you follow different calendars, we also have things coming up in March, possibly maybe in March we get the official Clarity Act. It did pass a little panel in the Senate, so it is moving forward in the Senate in some sense. But yeah, getting down to 57, 58, which is the 200 EMA on your chart, that would make sense to me. But then, like, I'm hearing people say, like, all the way down to 9,000 or 11,000. That doesn't make too much sense to me unless they're like, okay, well, Jeffrey Epstein is Satoshi or something like that. Unless,
Yeah.
unless it was something like that.
Well,
Um,
here's the thing with that. Let me dive into that just a little bit because it's been brought to my attention multiple times, right? Epstein is Satoshi. Okay. What does that mean? Is that like I feel like that is a convenient storyline at a convenient time with the price being attempted to be pushed down to try to turn the average retail investor who's not in Bitcoin to stay away from it because it was a P words coin that was created. It all seems just a little bit too convenient, like what's the implication outside of trying to get people not to buy Bitcoin?
Brother, that's the same thing like they did when it was like Sam Bankman Fried, Bitcoin was at 16K. People swore up and down to me, okay, Bitcoin's going under 10K. And I'm like, hey guys, it's already at 16K. Why wouldn't you buy then? Right? Like it's not an all or nothing. You could still put 10 or 15% in right now. You can still do that.
Yeah.
But you can't you can't tell people sometimes, and it's like, of course, anything I say is not financial advice, but if it's already low, it's already half of what it was at 120. Why wouldn't you put some in at this point? And if it goes down to 58, put in more. And God forbid, if it actually did go down to 10, that would be crazy. I like all the infrastructure they put in place, Michael Saylor, El Salvador, all these different things, Bitcoin ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, some of the largest venture capital firms in the world have their skin in the game.
Yeah.
So it's hard to believe that it could go down to 10, but it sounds like more to me, to your point, it's a scare tactic.
Well, I really don't see a scenario where it's even possible for it to go down to 10 with institutions like first of all, for it to go down to 10, Michael Saylor and Strategy hands down would have to sell every Bitcoin they have. They would have to, right? There's no way they could hold over 660,000 Bitcoin and the price goes down to 10,000. That's not possible. It's not enough in circulation for that to happen. Even
Right.
right now, we're still seeing more Bitcoin purchased on a monthly basis than are being produced. So 10K is just, for me, I always say nothing is impossible in crypto, but it's as close to impossible, in my opinion, as you can get, right?
Exactly.
There is an argument that I'm seeing that I've talked about that Bitcoin drops 70% from its high, right? And if that's the third possible scenario, because if that was to happen, that would be a move down to about $38,000. let's round it to 40 for kicks, right? So let's go back to previous cycles. How far did Bitcoin fall in 2021 to the bottom? I mean, you'd have to be right about here, 77.5% from the high to the low, right? From the peak of the bull run to the bottom of the bear market, 77%. Let's have a look at 2017. From the peak of the high, and the low would be right about here, 84%. So it is lessening. So with that being the case, so from 84 to 77, right? Let's say, for argument's sake, that Bitcoin goes down 77. Let's say 65.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right, 65. I mean, you're looking at a price about $45,000, which is not too far below the 200 week. Exactly. And as we see back here, we did drop below the 200 week by a little bit there. So it is possible to go a little bit below it and then consolidate.
And I think this time, then the 200 makes more sense because you have more insulating factors in that. You got like retirement funds. I think it's like the Wisconsin retirement fund. Like they're invested. You know, you got all these different ETFs that are invested in Bitcoin. I think there are some digital asset treasuries that are invested in Bitcoin. So you have some diamond hands to kind of prevent the 70 to 65% drop, in which I would say, okay, then now we're back to the 200 EMA. That makes a lot more sense to me. Yeah, just based on those things, like how we got the whole diamond hands and any other situations, we didn't have this. We didn't have ETFs. We didn't have retirement funds and digital asset treasuries. We didn't have any of that.
Yeah. So let's say bullish case, 69K ends up holding as the bottom or just a hair below it, and we work our way back up from there, which is the previous cycle high. Let's say bullish, neutral, bullish / bearish scenario. It comes down to the 200-week moving average at 58, but by the time it got there, it might be like 58.4, 58.5, something like that, right? Maybe we get to 59.
Right.
Worst case scenario, 44 to $45,000. Yeah. I mean, listen, I have had so many people over the last year and a half tell me that they wish they had gotten into Bitcoin and crypto at way, way lower prices, that they came into it when the prices were too high. Well, and I've been saying this for the last 3 days now. This is your opportunity.
Right.
But it's like that meme that goes around X all the time where the guy's like, oh, I wish I bought Bitcoin at 40K, and then it drops down to 40K, and he's like, I ain't buying that shit.
Yeah, and everybody does that where it's like they'll say $100 XRP and they have everybody lining up, and then it's like the current price of XRP, nobody's standing in line.
It's true. It's so true, man. But that's what fear does to people, right? I mean, back when I remember when Bitcoin was $15,000 in the bottom of the last cycle, no one wanted to touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Now, here's something that I brought up to my guys on the show last night. Shout out to the Root Crew, and definitely like and subscribe to my channel, guys, if you haven't already. If you could bring up the prices of U.S. oil, Rob.
U.S. oil, right on here. It's a Terry. Yep. U.S. oil.
Yep.
U.S. oil futures. Is that good?
No. I think we just want U.S. oil. Yeah. U.S. oil general price if we can find one. Let's try U.S. oil futures. I don't think that's the right one, but let me see here. Let me look at my ticker.
I put a D in there. That's why. I put the D in.
Okay.
Is this the one you're looking at?
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at. So if you go back to like 2020, U.S. oil prices went to the negative
Look at this
Okay.
right here.
And this is oil. We understand and know what oil is based off of and how the dollar was based off of the oil, right?
Yeah.
And if you were to take a time machine back to that point in time, people were saying that oil is done. No more need for oil. Green energy is the thing. We're doing nothing but solar. Oil is just yesterday's news. And then what did it go on to do?
Yeah. Look at
From
this.
negatives to $130 something dollars.
Ooh.
So if you were to just invest in some of the top US oil stocks and do nothing but that oil, different oil accelerated funds
Oh,
that were bullish. Yeah,
dude,
what
that's oil. That is from negative 0.18 to its peak. That's a 58,000% return.
and
That's
this is oil.
yeah.
Do we know everything that's oil and petroleum based? All of plastic is oil and petroleum based. So everything that you're looking at, from your computers to your whatever that uses plastic, that's petroleum based, that's oil. Gasoline, of course, we know, and the oil in our cars. But everything else that's plastic based is also a petroleum product. So oil, right? Of all things, let's just say, for instance, you're not a Bitcoin supporter and you think it's funny money or anything like that. This is oil. So everything has its swing down and its swing back up, guys, is my point here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's something I was actually looking at this morning is that people like they see this in crypto and they feel like um they feel like, oh, crypto, everyone's down on crypto. Guys, this happened across the board for everything. Oh, why is my
Yep.
so right? Everything crashed. Not it's this isn't unique to crypto, right? Like
Yep.
look at silver.
Yep. In our open mic nights, precious metals was one of the things that we've talked about. Silver died, gold died, uh, everything across the board. The Magnificent Seven stocks, they went down. Everything went down.
Yeah, but for some reason people are looking at crypto and they're like, oh, they're all down and out about it. It's like, guys, like look at this on like everything's doing this, but we knew that this was coming for precious metals. Here's the thing. Silver drops down in this little pocket here between 50 and 55 bucks. That's where I'm going to go buying my physical silver again, right? Damn straight, man.
And this is like the pendulum swing, guys. I don't know if any of you guys are into like hermetic principles or anything like that, but they talk about pendulum swings, and we've seen this in the market with Bitcoin as far as the 4 year cycle goes. We know, like, if this is not your first rodeo in crypto, which I know it's not for Rob, but if this is your first rodeo for crypto, you might not know about the 4 year cycles. But crypto has 4 year cycles. and, a
Yeah.
lot of, and a lot of times people were saying that this year was different with the 4 year cycles. And hey, even I thought it would be a little different. And maybe ultimately it is. Um, like if you guys look at let me share something with you guys. My highly marked up Bitcoin chart. Um, let me share. So you can see here between these yellow markers, this was the last halving cycle. But you can see when the last halving cycle, when we went to the high here, we went bearish for 13 months, pretty much, basically. So January 2023, right here, like November 2021. So we were bearish for 13 months. So right now we've only done like about 5 months, if that, right? It would be interesting here because if you go all the way back to the last halving, we were bearish for like years at a time.
Mhm.
So it'd be interesting, like this last halving here, if it cuts in half. So instead of 13 months, it's more like 5 or 6 or 7. So that would put us out somewhere in maybe March, sometime in quarter 2. So
I am seeing a lot of people saying that the potential end of this bear phase could happen a lot faster than people anticipate because it's dropping so much faster than people anticipate.
yeah.
So that's an interesting argument. Let's jump into the chat a little bit and get into some of the comments here. I don't want to fall too far behind on it. I like to jump in and out. Brandon says Bitcoin dominance looks like a head and shoulder on the weekly. If dominance tracks, will alts have a relief rally? Well, I mean, if Bitcoin dominance comes down, then yeah, I mean, alts could have a relief rally for sure. Hey, Rob, a crypto fam, it's near that time to go dumpster diving. Yeah. Yes, hit the like and subscribe. Absolutely, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe over on Rouge channel as well. I will bring it up on the screen in a little bit, so stick around for that. Come on, BTC 63K. That's where I have my buy-in. There you go. As always, it's Elizabeth Warren's fault.
That's hilarious.
Super excited for the live with Ruin Max. Yeah, we got that tonight. You're going to be there for that, right?
Oh yeah.
Ben says, I'm so sick of winning. Yeah, and that's another thing, guys. Like, I'm seeing people arguing online about Trump, and listen. I was excited as anybody for Trump to come in and be a pro-crypto president and stuff like that, but here's the fact of the matter. He hasn't really been. I mean, big picture, yes. Big picture, yes. He's pushing through a lot of bills. He's pushing through a lot of regulations. All this kind of stuff is good for the big picture of crypto. One question with that is, if the Democrats come back in the next 4 years, are they able to just destroy everything he put in place? I don't know. I don't know how the American system works in terms of that. So I don't know how much the Democrats can bulldoze what he's been doing. But at the end of the day, the only one that's really gotten super rich off crypto since he became president is him, right? And that's coming from a pro-crypto or pro-Trump kind of position.
Well, it's interesting because you look at and you look at it from a Zebek lens, right? Which I cover a lot along with you, right? World Liberty Financial and the things that he's creating with the USD1. He's basically creating his own neobank, in which the Trump family, through World Liberty Financial, they've already applied for a national bank license so they can custody their own USD1. Like, I think we get to a point where, like, Democrats are not going to be able to do anything with what's already here. Like, they're not going to be able to stop the fact that we have the stable coins. And stable coins are a lot better, and that we have real-time payment and real-time payroll. Like, who's going to want to go back to getting paid every 2 weeks?
No kidding, eh? That's the thing, though, is that so many average people out there don't even, they won't even realize this. So what's going to happen is, John Doe suddenly gets a notification from work that now he's going to be able to select whether he wants to get paid hourly, daily, whatever the case might be. And the problem, which is great, but the problem is most people who get that notification, they're not going to know who, what, when, where, why, or how. They're not going to care. They're just going to say, yeah, okay, pay me daily, right?
Yeah,
and they're
exactly.
not going to go too deep into why, which they're going, we switched over to this new company, and that's the shame of it, really. Right? Because most people won't. And I would encourage anybody out there, you should always be asking the who, what, when, where, and whys and hows, right? Because there's money to be made in those questions.
100%.
Ken says, Rue, honorary member of the Heart Foundation.
Love it. I love it. I was sharing with everybody how we were talking about the Heart Foundation. Absolutely one of my favorite families in wrestling. It's so cool that you got to train with them.
Yeah, 2 years I was contracted over there. In Calgary, baby.
That's awesome.
Ohowski says, no likes, no Bitcoin bottom. That's right. Hit the likes, guys. Hit the subscribe. Mass accumulation coming my way. I'm excited for the bear market. Yes, I'm so excited for the bottom. Like, I was talking to my father-in-law because I don't know if you know, but I took my father-in-law last night to a Habs Jets game, NHL game,
It's
and
nice.
yeah, and we were sitting there talking. Of course, she brings up crypto, right? Like that's the way she goes. And because I handle his and my mother-in-law's portfolios as well, and I told that like I told he's like so what's going on? I said, oh, we'll probably bottom around September, October, and I told him I was going to buy him a couple of Bitcoin, and because I made them a lot of money in this cycle, so I said I'm going to buy you guys a couple of. I said this time around I'm going to, because it's going to be a lot of work what I'm doing. I'm just going to buy you guys a full Bitcoin or 2 Bitcoins each, and then just leave it sit, and then I'll sell it at the top. I'll keep $100,000 of your profit, give you the rest, and then I'll reinvest that 100,000 back into Bitcoin again, and I'll just keep doing that. So you guys just keep making money every cycle, right? So he's like, okay.
Nice.
So it's it's easier than trying to. It's keeping them both with enough money that they're retired and everything. Because they're not in it for the long game. They're not in it for 8 years, 10 years. I mean, when you're pushing, 75, 80 years old, you're not trying to spend 8 years investing in crypto and waiting for the long game, right? So that way
Right.
they get their money and stuff. And it's just a lot for me to continue trying to flip all altcoins and getting in and out and taking profits for them. It's too much, right? To
Right.
do that for 3 portfolios. So yeah. Hugo, she says, oh snap, Rob Roo. Roo and Rob Roo, and Rob and Roo. Nice. Love these prices. Just yeah, exactly. I'm loving the positivity I'm seeing in the chat, guys. I really am loving it. I see a couple people in a couple chats that are a little bit negative and stuff, but you know what? That's fine. It's okay to be frustrated. As long as you just stay the course and stay consistent and persistent, you'll succeed. Listen, not everybody made it in this last cycle, but I'm telling you this, and you can check over on the Patreon. We helped over in our Patreon a lot of people retire in this previous cycle. A lot of people retired from their jobs. I just got a message from someone yesterday, said, you know what, Rob, the cycle didn't go quite as high as we thought it would, but you know what, because of you, I paid my mortgage off on my house. I don't have a mortgage anymore, and now I'm ready to go next cycle. Like, that's the kind of help we're giving people, right?
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah. Now, not everybody made it, but we're going to get you guys there in the next cycle. That's the plan, right?
100.
What do you see? XRP and XCN bottoming at 90 to 95% from the top. This question I've been getting asked a lot about any given altcoin, guys. So I'm just going to answer it very, very generically for you. Any altcoin, I don't care what its utility is going to go down 90% from its high. Whatever the cycle high was, it's going to be down about 90% from there, right? That's where, in my opinion, I will start to dollar cost average back into the alts when they're down about 90% from their highs. Anything short of that, you're catching a falling knife, right? So I say that because I get asked that question. Where do you think this altcoin's going to bottom? Where do you think this one's going to just go to the high, use a calculator, minus 95%? That's probably where you're going to find your bottom, right? We're all getting dumber day by day. If he's Satoshi, oh yeah, Satoshi. But are we going up? Not right now. And rule is Agent Smith, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Let's see if we can find any questions in here before we continue on, because I got some stuff that I do want to get into. I'm not seeing any questions. Let me know if you see a question in the chat. Yeah, who's saying 10K? For me, 34. Yeah, 10K is definitely not possible in my opinion. It's very, very, I shouldn't say that, but it's very, very unlikely. You called the bear flag on silver? Yes, I did. I called the bear flag on silver. I think it was about a week ago, something like that. So we were going down. So, Stefan, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Don't see any questions, so we will continue on. So there was a couple of things that I wanted to get into that we're going to talk about here. But first, guys, make sure you go to Rue's channel and shoot him a sub. Let's get him up to 10K subs, guys. Let's get him there. He's got 9.1. We can push him to 10K, no problem, man. Once he hits that 10K sub, the algorithm will pick his channel up a little bit more, and so let's help him out. Let's get it up there, guys. Let's get it up. That's what she said.
That's right.
Now, I got some stuff I want to get into. Now, this is crazy to me. While we're still on the Bitcoin price, this kind of stuff is crazy to me. I mean, Michael Saylor, listen, I get it. You know, he wants the price to go up. He's accumulating. I think he's down like $38 billion right now in the red because of the, you know, because. So here's one question I have. First of all, how low or how much in the red will Strategy shareholders be okay with before they start to force Saylor to dump the Bitcoin? Because they're not just going to be okay being in the red. Billions, like I said, they're like $38 billion or something like that in the red today, because their cost average is like 70, I want to say 71,000 or something like that. So they're in the red right now on their Bitcoin. Now, how far down, if Bitcoin does go to, let's say 57, like if it goes down to 57,000 or even 40, that is deep in the red, man. That's like elbow deep in the red. What do you think? Do you think they're going to end up getting forced to kind of liquidate some? And just before you answer, let me get to Attila here. Thanks, Rob. Took your advice. Feeling great today. Sold a bunch of sitting on dry powder ready. Yes, exactly. You would have been even more. You would have been in the red today. So yes, absolutely. No problem, brother. And thank you for supporting the channel, man. It's much, much appreciated. So what do you think, Root? What is your response to that question?
Seems like Saylor does it every year, where he every bear market he just loads up on more Bitcoin and just guts it out, and then gets to another top. So it's like, you know, everybody thinks he looks silly, but then he buys at the bottom and can leverage his Bitcoin for loans and all different types of stuff at the top. So
yeah, interesting. So you
yeah.
think they'll just continue to lower their cost average?
Yeah.
Nice. I could see it. I could see a world where it happens. Another story that's going around right now, and I want to play this. I want to play this here because I got a lot to say about this. So first I want to hear, so I don't know how much, are you aware of what's going on with Binance right now and the mass exodus from the exchange?
No, I did not hear about that. Let's hear it.
Okay, so basically what's going on here is CZ switched his comments on X to so that no one could comment anymore or reply, right? Because what's happening is it got exposed by the CEO of OKX exchange how and why Binance is largely responsible for the October 10th crash that started us down into this spiral in the first place, right? So basically, to kind of sum it up quickly, what happened was Binance was allowing borrowing against USD, I can't remember it, a stable, brand new stable coin, right? And what happened was everybody started taking out loans, and then so what happened was they were taking out loans, buying other stable coins because Binance was offering a yield of like, I might be wrong on the number, but it was like 70%. But it could be lower. It could be like 30 or something. But anyway, they were offering an exorbitant amount of APY on staking the stablecoin. So people were borrowing against that stablecoin. So it created a loop where they weren't solvent to back it up. They could no longer provide that APY on the stablecoin, right? And everything cascaded and fell apart, which caused, that's why that stablecoin depegged only on Binance, not on any other exchange, only on Binance, it depegged to 60 cents, right? Which liquidated everybody, right? It caused this big cascade effect. So OKX exchange CEO pointed this out, right? And he explained it. I covered it in a video, I think the day before yesterday. CZ has been on a tear trying to debunk it. So this is what CZ had to say about it real quick.
The highest complaint I've seen so far is on the October 10th crash. Some people say Binance caused it. I just want to be very clear. It's pretty clear that the tariff announcements preceded the crash, not Binance system issues or Binance doing anything. I can also tell you pretty clearly that I or Binance, we don't buy and sell crypto really in the sense of trading, try to make money out of it. We don't do that. Understand that Bitcoin itself is a $2 trillion market. They would probably have to risk in the
I got to pick this apart a little bit as we go because he's loading there's a lot of bullshit stuck in his teeth right now that I got to get to. Okay, first off, okay, he's masking what happened with the tariff announcements with what Binance did. Right, we have seen Binance, and I've got proof again today with this red candle again today. Binance is selling Bitcoin again today. Right. So in saying that, that's what these exchanges do. They use macroeconomic potential catalysts to either pump or dump the market to liquidate the longs and the shorts that are on their exchange, right? That's how they make their money. Essentially, for me, I use the word theft. That's theft. If you artificially manipulate the price of something to liquidate your own customers, you're basically stealing their money, right? That's just my opinion on it. It's not fact, but secondly, he said, we don't trade. He said, we don't trade. No, you just liquidate your own customers. Right? You let them trade and then you liquidate them. Let's continue on.
Order of hundreds of billions of dollars to try to impact the Bitcoin price. For any single entity or individual to do that, they have to take that risk that they may lose that couple $100 billion. I would never want to do that. I don't know anybody on the planet that's crazy enough to do that. Binance.com global exchange is a regulated entity now. It has a global regulator, ADGM, which are able to review all trades on all accounts. Binance, the company, also has US monitors. So Binance is not in a position to do anything funky. Based on all of that.
See, in saying that, guys, that's the hitch right there, right? So the truth is hiding in plain sight. He says, well, we're a globally regulated, we're regulated by a global company, right? So every single one of our transactions is monitored or can be looked into. Yes, right? And here's the thing. Technically, it's not illegal for Binance to sell Bitcoin, right? So they can say, well, we didn't do anything wrong. We're being monitored by a global, company who, okay, that's fine, but you still crashed the price of Bitcoin by selling off a crap load of Bitcoin. Is it illegal to do that? No, but you still did it.
Well,
right?
Rob, you want to hear something really funny? Let me share something here with you here. So, he just mentioned here about tariff announcements possibly causing everything, right? The funny part about that is that the Trump family is linked in with Binance. That's the funny part. So, if we go down here, you can see that this company, this MGX company, which is attached to Project Stargate here, right? MGX made a $2 billion purchase in Binance on March 12th, and they did that through Trump's USD1 stablecoin. So the Trump family, through this MGX, which is a Dubai company, which is a part of Project Stargate, which Trump did the moment he came into office the second time. If I show you here, this Project Stargate. This is another reason why I'm kind of really high on Zebek. And Zebek being attached to World Liberty Financial is that this Project Stargate, which Trump did the moment he came into office, $500 billion in AI infrastructure, right? So Oracle, SoftBank, and OpenAI with this investment from MGX. This same MGX, which is an Emirati state-owned company, through President Trump's USD1, purchased $2 billion of Binance. So these guys are linked. Just want to say that there. So if everything I say is alleged, but if Donald Trump wanted to say, okay, well, CZ, I need you to do something for me.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something here. Let me make sure I get these shorts in right quick. Let me make sure I got these shorts locked in. Okay, you go ahead and do this allegedly, and
Let me just go ahead and sign that pardon for you.
that too, right? Right? As in, he pardoned him. He went into business with them. You know, just saying, just saying.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And here's the thing as well, right? Um, let me show you something here. So at the same day that CZ's saying this, Binance dumps more Bitcoin, right? They dumped 85. There was 85 $6.66 billion worth of Bitcoin dumped
Oh,
today,
that's an interesting
right?
number.
And we see a big red dildo of a candle at the same time.
Yep.
Right? So, and I would also like to point this out as well. CZ, because of the mass exodus from Binance that's been taking place over the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 days now, because since the OKX founder pointed out the proof of what Binance did on October 10th, everyone started offloading their crypto from Binance, right? So it was essentially like a bank run was taking place. So obviously everyone started talking about it. YouTubers, people on X and stuff. You know what happened? Binance started sending out cease and desist orders to people for talking about them, for funding them, right? And it's causing a bank run. It's funny because I seem to recall CZ pointing out when FTX was doing something wrong, right? And I didn't see him having an issue with an exchange being flooded by people back then. There was no cease and desist orders getting sent out then. But as soon as Binance is caught with their pants down, all of a sudden it's whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not talk shit here, guys, right? Like, it's okay for CZ.
Right, which is funny too because Binance was also an investor in FTX. So that's pretty funny there too. But you know.
It's unbelievable, man. Like, you really look into this stuff, it's unbelievable what these people do, you know?
It's crazy.
Yeah, like I can't believe it, man. So going back to Bitcoin, actually, I got a video coming out today with Max. We did another collab covering Jasmine stuff, but I think that you and me need to do one on Zbeck here soon as well, because
Sounds like a plan.
I'm getting a lot of questions about, wow, we see all this positive stuff about Zbeck, but why is the price not going up? At the end of the day, for me, because there's no liquidity.
Well, exactly. And then I think the liquidity will come when we see the Clarity Act. Because right now, really, Zebek has been testing everything as far as the US goes with what they can do with streaming payroll. Clarity will actually allow them to do it for real, right? And you look at a lot of these different companies they've been allying with. Facet, Vera was another one I talked about yesterday's show. These are companies in like, the Arab type of area of the world, Dubai, and they actually have more clarity, regulational clarity with their VARA than we do in the US or that we have anywhere else in the world. They're actually more regulatory clear than we are. But again, we know like the money is kind of really here in America and here in the American stock market and the things that Ando is doing and what they're doing with the tokenizing the stock market. When clarity happens here, there's going to be tons of liquidity flowing through Zebek because in order to pay people and have streaming payroll, then those stable coins have to be going 24/7. And what they showed us in their new tokenomics is that with those stable coins, all the fees get automatically converted over to Zebek. So there's always going to be liquidity flowing through Zebek once this is officially official.
Yeah, I agree. And that gets lost a lot, is that, liquidity is the key. People think it's catalysts and stuff. They help, but I mean, it's the same thing in, what was it, 2020, summer of 2024 or 2023, when I was saying at that time, I think I said it, no BS. You can look up the date that it was announced, and then go back and look at my videos. I made a video about 7 days before XRP got legal clarity, and I said in that video that because of the market condition, because we were in a bear phase of the market, there was no liquidity in the market, that that XRP would be lucky to hit 90 cents to $1 with this news, right? And because all over YouTube, people are saying, "Oh, it's going to $10, it's going to $5 as soon as we get that announcement." Where's this money coming from? There's no liquidity in the market, right? And sure enough, a week later, we got that clarity. It hit like 90 something cents, and then came all the way back down to like 40, 50 cents. I said, I told you so, right? Like,
yeah, and I think the best thing in this case is that they're putting all the legal infrastructure in place, and you can see with these ETFs and different things, they're putting they're diamond handing it before anyone really notices that it's going to be big. Like, they're also diamond handing altcoins, by the way. Let me show you. Do I have it up here? Let me pull it up right quick. So Bitwise, they're doing a whole list of altcoins, including Canton here. Here, this tab. So can you guys see this? Breaking Bitwise has officially filed for a single SEC registration statement covering 11 cryptos, ETFs, one of the broadest altcoin ETF filings ever. This is December 30th. They got AVAIL, Uniswap, Tau, Sui, Near, Stark, Tron, Zcash, Athena, Hyperliquid, and Canton. Okay, so they're storing these things away just like they're commodities, just like gold and silver, right? So all that regulation is getting into place. So once this, like, if you will, switch is turned on, they're already going to have the assets in their biggest vehicle, which is the stock market, which they're opening up with Ondo to all the rest of the world to have access to. It's just seeming like it's lining up perfectly there.
It's a no-brainer, man. Canton's going to be big in the next cycle, I believe. I can't wait to start a fresh portfolio here at the bottom, man. Candyman says, the man who invented the wind chill factor has sadly passed away. He was 98, but felt like 85.
Wow.
Well played, sir. Well played. David with a Y, what's up, buddy? Stefan, RIP R, so 90% decrease XCN is right about where we are now from the top. There you go. There you go, man. I am Jasmine. We're all Jasmine. Bam. Market downturn. Nothing new under the sun. It's the same movie over and over. Yeah, but sadly, some people don't learn, right? Because their emotions get in the way.
What's up, J Share 2.0, by the way?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing, is it's, I'm seeing it right now too. There's so many people that they're still here. They're still in crypto. They're still in the community, but they're not getting it, right? Because of their emotions, right? They're still, every day, it's still negativity and all this stuff, not even realizing that this is all par for the course for the cycle, like for the asset class, right? At the end of the day, what it really boils down to is, and I know this sounds like an oversimplification, but buy the bottom and sell the top. And no one can time the bottom, no one can time the top, but you can get relatively close, especially with the opportunity of within this year, you're going to see a bottom. A couple months from now, I'm going to be DCAing again and scooping up altcoins. You know why? Because even by the time we get to the Bitcoin halving, which is what, March, April of 2028, right? Your portfolio could 10x in that time, especially if you're in the right projects. Right. Even then, you could leave the market and come back at the bottom again if you wanted to and walk away with money. It's really that easy. It's just, here's the problem, guys. So much noise is in the space. So many experts, right, telling you this, like that, and the other thing. I mean, you're seeing people right now who are claiming that Bitcoin's going to go to new all-time highs. I'm like, what are you seeing? Like, I don't get it. You know?
Yeah, that's pretty. I don't know about that one.
But it is what it is, right? Some people won't make it because they're controlled just too much. And the sad part about it is you can't see the forest through the trees. People who are being controlled by their emotions right now, and frustration and anger and depression, they don't even realize they think that they're perfectly logical and sound mind right now. They're like, I'm only saying what I see. I'm only speaking facts, right? And it's like, man, you really aren't, right? You really aren't. Connecting the old proverbial dots. Spot on, Rue. Yes, exactly. That's why you guys got a sub over on Rue's channel, guys. Right? Don't be that guy. Don't get left behind. You want to see massive research, you got to get over there. Hey, Robin Fram, Alfredo, what's up, Jador? And hearing YouTube and office normies talking about the drop with explanations that say they know nothing about crypto without saying they know nothing about crypto. I've seen some videos like that. Because when I drive and stuff like that, I'll have crypto YouTube on, the speakers and stuff, and sometimes a video will pop on, and I'll listen to the whole thing while I drive, and I'll come out of it thinking to myself, like, I've never heard someone say so much and say so little at the same time. Like, I learned nothing from that video at all.
You got some professional talkers out here, Rob, where they will say absolutely nothing. They will take both sides, and they will sound very good doing it. They will sound so good taking both sides.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, wow, that was great.
Yeah, I often walk away from crypto YouTube videos thinking to myself, what's the moral of the story of that video? And if I can't find one, I mean, I'm like, you didn't really say anything then. Right?
But see, that's the point. For those professional talkers, they can speak for a whole 20, 30 minutes, not say anything, and have people happy. It's great.
Yeah. Long as people are happy, I suppose. CZ's crook and always has been. Yeah, 100%. I've said for a long time, Binance is a bad actor in this space, and I have absolutely no issue at all with people leaving the exchange, right? Taking their money and going to other exchanges. I mean, in all honesty, guys, for me personally, check this out. For me personally, I use, yes, they're a channel sponsor, but I use, and I know Rue uses as well, BTCC exchange. That's where I do all my trading. That's where I do a lot of my spot buying and stuff like that, because they never give me any problems, guys, right? It's always, and they're easy to get in contact with. They always respond when you're having issues. They're never, in the spotlight of being accused of doing, shady stuff. And as you can see right now, you can even trade gold and silver on there as well, right? So use our link down below, guys. Use that and get, what is it, up to $10,000 in bonuses. Signing up over there and loading up on USDT. So check it out today, guys. That's where I do my trading. We even use it in our trading group over on the Patreon as well. I know, Rue, I know that you use it as well over there, right?
Yes, indeed.
Funny story, actually, Rue. I told Max, I don't know if I told you yet or not, because we haven't really had a chance to talk. But BTCC is actually sending me to Dubai. For the token 2049, I will be representing them for a week out in Dubai with the team.
That's amazing, bro. Like, yeah, Dubai's very nice from what I hear. I know some people have been over there. Hey, have fun.
Well, here's the bonus for me. And I'm in talks right now with Zebek over on X. I've been talking with them now they reply to me all the time. And I've been pressing them to find out, when they're going to know for sure whether they're going to be at token 2049. I have no doubt they'll be there. I mean, right. Any altcoin worth their salt is at token 2049. I mean, why would you not be there, right? It's one of the biggest global crypto conferences in the world, right?
And like I said, they have more regulatory clarity than we do right now, actually, over in Dubai.
Yeah. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be walking around to every relevant, in my opinion, crypto booth out there, and I'm going to be conducting interviews like crazy over there, even if they're just 3 to 5 minute quick interviews with the representatives, of every project there, and we're going to come back with a whole ton of great content, man. I'm excited about it. But that's the lengths, BTCC, fantastic exchange, man. I love those guys. I really do. They've always treated me really good. They've always been on the level. So, and whenever somebody, one of my followers, like one of our Patreon members or something, has an issue with BTCC, I shoot my rep a message over there, and he always gets back to me right away and fixes it. Rue, I'm sure it's the same for you whenever you have an issue.
Yeah. BTCC is they're really good partners for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lots of newer projects and nearing the 90% down. Buy time. Not yet. No, I'm not buying alts yet. No. Not till I'm convinced that Bitcoin has found its local bottom. Its bear market bottom, anyway. Where are your hands? You look at my hands. Oh, I left the guns over there, right? YouTube told me I couldn't put the guns on. I couldn't have weapons of mass destruction on my videos anymore. So. Foresight. Kiza, what's up, buddy? If these exchanges are selling Bitcoin, who's buying? I thought they're sellers. Yeah, they do. People are buying the dip like crazy, but a lot of times they'll even sell it OTC and stuff like that. They'll sell it to companies like Strategy. They sell it to all kinds of entities like that, right? They don't usually sell the same way like these big companies, Binance's, the exchanges, strategies and stuff. They don't purchase crypto the same way that we do as retail, right?
And then that's a good point, Rob. And then when they buy OTC, it doesn't affect the price much at all, at all, right?
Yeah, and that's always been my gripe. When they buy OTC, like they choose to buy OTC so that the price doesn't go up, so that they can keep their cost average down. But when they sell, they dump on the market and crash the price. That makes me a little bit angry. It makes sense, because when you buy OTC, you're buying Bitcoin below spot value, right? So of course, when you sell it, you're going to sell it for spot value. That increases your profit margin, right? So I get it, but why they aren't? They aren't wrong. Bitcoin will go to all-time highs inevitably. Yeah, I guess you're not wrong there. Can't wait for your XDC content from the event. Yes, absolutely. Everyone who's there, man, everyone who's at Token 2049, I will be at their booth with my GoPro harassing the hell out of
them. Nice.
Get this fool out of here. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Bitcoin back up. Oh, it's down 65, almost 65.3. Check this out. We're almost at, I put this yellow line here for 65K because a lot of people are calling for 65K to be a bottom. I don't know the relevance of that. I haven't seen. Maybe, like, I'm trying to find it. It's just, it cuts right through all of this static, so it's not really a relevant level inside of here. So I'm not seeing, maybe because it was the first peak of the 2021 cycle. Maybe that's why it reached there. But outside of that, I'm not seeing the relevance on the charts of $65,000 Bitcoin. I don't know why.
I don't see the relevance of that one either. You got me on that one.
Yeah. I think 57. Let's put another line in there. So we'll put 57 right there. Let's change the color. What color should 57 be? Blue. Sure, why not? Let's get rid of this golden pocket. Let's clean it up a little bit. So, again, I don't like 65 here, but for a relevant level. But look how I am shocked that we went through 69, the previous cycle high, like a hot knife through butter.
Me too. This is crazy type of dropping here. Usually it takes like months, but this is like this is insane.
Yeah, it didn't respect that level at all. And I thought for sure it would, right? It has in the past. So we cut right through there. So now we wait for the 200 week, which is actually 57, 58. I was wrong. Sorry. 58 is where the 200 week moving average is right now. 58K. So we'll see what happens. That'll get raised up every month. But for now, all we can do is monitor the situation, guys. Am I buying altcoins right now? No. I believe there's lower to go. I do buy something every day, but I put my buy alerts over on the Patreon, guys, if you want to know what I'm buying, what I'm selling, and when I'm doing it. Also, when I'm trading and what I'm trading on BTCC. Get over to the Patreon community today, guys. And also, again, make sure you are subbing over on Rue's channel here, guys. Shoot him a sub. Let's get him up to 10K subs, guys. Let's help the algo out. Rob, get over there early enough to get settled, bro. Yeah, I will be going the day before. It's a 19-hour flight, though, so it's going to be insane, right? But, hey, I mean, Japan was 14 and a half hours, so it's another 5 hours on there, right?
That's crazy. You think Japan would have been shorter or longer?
Yeah, you'd think, but no. I looked it up. I looked at the flights, and turns out, no, it's about 5 hours longer, 4.5, 5 hours longer. So, but it'll be exciting to get there. I'm going to scout it out, and probably, just take it in, enjoy the culture, enjoy everything. I'm really excited about enjoy the food, right? Exit Flip says, what if we hit 58K this month? Where do you think we go from there? V-shaped recovery? Well, I mean, if we hit the 200 week, I think we'll drop just a little bit below it, and then we'll probably consolidate. I mean, if we go have a look at let's go look at the previous cycle for when Bitcoin hit the 200 week, right? Right. So we are on the 4 hour. Let's go back to the daily. Okay. Yeah, see, we're not even that far from the 200 week anymore. Look at that.
Yeah, we're not. Like, this is shades of like Corona to me. Like, this type of dropping is insane for like zero really news or anything like that. Not really a black swan. Like, this is crazy.
Bitcoin is less than 10% away from the 200 week moving average. Oh, sorry, just a little above 10%, not less. Sorry. But if we go back in time and we have a look, we follow it. So back here, as you see, Bitcoin lost the 200 week moving average in the previous bear market, right? Right here. So we dropped below it. We stayed below it for So once we get to the 200 week moving average, we'll probably move just a little below it, not by too much, but a little bit. We were there for 275 days before we started to work our way back up again, right? So you're going to have, that's what, 2/3 of a year? A little more?
Yeah.
More than 3/4 of a year. That's how much time you'll have. So that would be like the rest of this year. If we hit the 50 week moving or the 200 week moving average, let's say this month, right? Or next month, then you'd probably see a level of consolidation in a range for the next, 3/4 of a year. So for the rest of this year, probably. And then we'd probably start working our way up, maybe in halfway through Q1 of 2027, something like that, right? So that would be your phase of accumulation, right? That's where people keep asking me about when they should be, DCAing into their alts and stuff like that. This, not financial advice, but that is your window to do that. That's your window to find the bottom and DCA, right? Right around that 200 week. Again, could you drop a little below it? Yes, that's fine. We did here, right? And we were fine. So that's your window of opportunity to catch relatively the low. So,
and see, this is what I was showing on my chart, where it was like, okay, from cycle high to when we started going back up was like 13 months. But I don't know. Like this time, it might be really quicker because everything seems to be happening quicker. Like the drop, like if you can just see from Rob's chart there, the drop from the high to where he circled, that took way longer than this drop to me. Like this drop was like, it seems like it's like a lot faster.
It feels like it, but let's find out for sure. So 121 days so far from the high to where we are right now today. 121 days. If we go back to the previous cycle, how long did it take the bottom? A lot longer. You're right. 375 days. Right? So we're moving almost twice as fast to the bottom this time around as we did last time. Right? So there is an argument to be made for sure.
So then could we get everything happens twice as fast? Like that's what I was thinking basically. Like, okay, instead of 13 months, we take 6 months to drop and then we start recovering. Something to think about.
Well, I think that, so let's say we take 6 months to drop, like you said. I don't think we'll start to recover right away, and that's the part I think people are getting too excited about.
Mm-hmm.
And you shouldn't be, because I think that's where you're going to hit that level where you're going to then consolidate, right? That's where consolidation comes in, because after a drop like that, you have to consolidate. You have to build the support level down there, right? So let's say it's the 200 week, then we consolidate for maybe another 6 months.
So
right?
what's 6 months from the high here? Like where would that put us?
Let's go to the monthly time frame and find out. Okay, 6 months from the high would put us into, what are we here? So the high is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would put us around April 1st, beginning of April. Interesting. So 6 months to fall. Then maybe we accumulate for another 6 months. So what's 6 months from April? Maybe May, June, July, August, September, October. That would be around October. We start lifting off again. How convenient, right? And I say that because what else happens around that time frame? Well, that's where I was expecting to start moving in the direction upwards again anyway. But the effects of the new Fed chair coming in and potential quantitative easing, money printing, rate cuts, we would start to feel the effects on the economy in about that period of time as well, right? We would start to feel that liquidity being injected into the markets around the same time that it would be scheduled to start moving back up again. Interesting how timelines kind of match up with a lot of this stuff. So yeah, but either way, guys, this is why we have to stay vigilant. We have to continue to pay attention constantly to what's going on, right? Because the macro can really, really mess things up. So, but for now, I think we're about out of time, brother. Plus, we got a live view tonight over on the Patreon, right? We'll be doing that same time we always do. So, yeah. But I think Max will be a little bit late, so I think you and I will just be chatting until he shows up. So
sounds good.
All right, buddy. Well, I'll see you later tonight, man. Thanks for popping in as always.
No problem. Peace, guys.
Yeah, make sure you sub to his channel, guys. Check out the Patreons on both channels. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.